I only paid $700 for this ugly 2004 Honda Accord from Facebook Marketplace. I mean, this thing is pretty ugly. But today, I'm gonna show you how we're gonna take this ugly car and turn it into gold. We're gonna make over $3,000 in profit on this one car, and I'm gonna show you how. We're gonna paint this car and get it into great running condition so we can make a huge profit. I'm gonna show you the step-by-step process so you can do this yourself. Let's get into the video. Last night, I got a notification from Swoopa for a Honda Accord. Now I am driving there to go look at this Honda Accord. So this seems like a good deal. Received the notification. I was the first one to respond to the seller. I told him I'll be there in the morning. It's now 6 a.m. Let's go check it out. Here's the car. Looks pretty good. So if you guys don't know by now, Swoopa is a proud sponsor of this channel, and I love to use them, guys. Now you can see I got this car for super cheap, and it's all because of Swoopa. Pretty much I got a notification to my phone as soon as this car was listed, and I was the first person to respond. Like I said, this is very key when you're selling on Facebook Marketplace, and thanks to Swoopa, I got that notification instantly. Now they do have an AI technology that tells you if the car is a steal or a deal. It breaks down how much they're worth, how much they should be sold for. Make sure that you download the app. Click the link below for Swoopa. Now that we have the car home, let's go over it and see exactly what's wrong with this thing. First off, the body is not in good shape. We have peeling paint all over the roof. There is no clear coat. You can see over here on the edges, the paint is peeling as well. It's just super faded. So we're gonna need clear coat. Same thing goes over here on the trunk. You can see it's peeling pretty bad. When you see cars like this, it's just a sign that that clear coat is going off. This is basically our base coat right here, and this is our clear starting to fade away. Right here on the side, we have a pretty good dent that we could possibly pull out, and we shouldn't have to bondo it or anything like that. Coming along to the hood, same thing. Our paint is starting to fade, and we have a crack right here in the paint. Our fade is pretty much the whole front. The top of the hood is not that bad. Our bumper is cracked down here. Looks like it has kind of like a hole in it. Coming along to this side, we have a hole in the bumper as well. You can see it's just cracked and like dented in right here. Our headlights are pretty faded. It is an old car, so these would need to be restored. Coming along on this side, same thing. Faded paint all the way down here. Now this door is pretty interesting. Either someone tried to break in the car or they left their keys in the car a long time ago. I didn't even ask about this when I was buying it. I didn't even notice till now. So it looks like they took some type of screwdriver and opened it up, and maybe they forgot the keys in the car, or someone tried to break in there. Something happened here that we need to fix and adjust. As for over here, you can see the car has been scuffed. We have a slight little dent right here. Nothing too crazy. This could be pulled out and it will have to be bondoed, and bumper seems like it's lined up. It's just that this part is like dented in. Our rear bumper has been scuffed too. It has a hole in here, as you can see, but we can bondo that out. Just little scuffs and scrapes. Same on this side of the bumper, scuffs and scrapes. But to be honest, it's really not that bad. I love this type of work. Let's check out the inside. The inside is pretty clean for a 2004. Carpet's slightly dirty, but not too much. If you pick up the carpet right under it, it's actually clean. It's just the edges right here and this one seat. Let's check out the back. Clean, definitely clean. Now this car only has 158,000 miles. And guess what, guys? No codes. So this is a good thing. That means we need to work on the body work. Now the story with this car is I bought it from a lady's daughter. Now that lady is about 80 years old and her husband is 90, and this was only a one-owner car. The daughter explained to me that most of the stuff that happened to the car happened recently when the 90-year-old dad kept driving the car. He kept messing it up and kept getting into accidents. Apparently he can't drive like he used to anymore, so the daughter wanted to get rid of the car. Now what she did tell me is that her dad put money into it recently. He went to Honda and got, like, you know, the services done on the car. He pretty much dumped money into the car, and they felt bad selling the car because he put money into it, but it needed to go because they didn't want him to get hurt. So he recently upgraded the battery. He did an oil change as well. Look how pretty that oil looks, guys. Nice and brown, look at that, golden. And the crazy part, since they had the car, they always kept up with the transmission fluid as well. Look how pink that transmission fluid is, guys. That's some nice transmission fluid right there. You rarely see that on these old 2004 Honda Accords. The engine seems to be in really good shape. There's no codes on the car. The brakes are done. The tires are not bad at all. I mean, all four look really good. The air condition is ice cold, and it really does run like a dream. I guess the problem is it's just really ugly. So let's get started on this car and take it where it needs to be. Let's go. So I wanted to go ahead and wash the vehicle down. This thing looks like it hasn't been cleaned in a very long time. A lot of tree sap. It was just grimy overall. So I got that done. Okay, so before we sand down the whole car, take off this clear coat, I want to get to this dent, and I want to do it with my PDR kit. With this particular PDR kit, this is called a cold glue puller. If you can see right here, that is cold glue on there. So what you do is you pretty much heat up the panel, heat up your glue a little bit, and you should be able to pull out the dent. So we're going to start off by heating up the panel. Going to heat up our tip a little bit. Just put it on there. Give it a little twist. Let's give it a pull. We got it out. Big difference right here in the panel. That thing popped right out like that. I see a little bit more of smaller dents here. So I'm gonna work on these as well and try to get this thing as perfect as possible without having to repaint it. So I went ahead and continued to pull out the dents using my puller. I think things came out very, very nice. And I was definitely happy with the results. Now I did notice there was still a dent over there by the door handle. I ended up pulling that out later on as I look back at this footage. I did see that dent right by the door handle, and I pulled that out real quick with my puller. Super simple, really happy with the results. So our next step here was to wet sand the car with a 600 grit sandpaper. So we just had a bucket of water, dipped the 600 in there, and started to sand the area down. And we did that to the whole car, guys, door by door, wet sanding, just it's a little bit better. So now I did take off this gas cap here because the paint is so old that I want to use that color. I don't know if this car has been painted before, so I want to use the color that's on that gas cap door handle to bring to the paint store, so that they can give me the proper color, whatever's on this car basically. So this is what we had once the car was pretty much wet sanded. And then we went ahead and grabbed our machine to sand out the deeper peeling of that clear coat. Now I had to use a 320 to get deep into those scratches, because if we don't peel that off hard enough, you're gonna see that when we paint the car. You'll see those little lines like you see here in the trunk. You see those little lines on there. You really want to get those out. Very important. And during this process, it did come down to the primer a little bit. Now I noticed on the hood, there was a repair here before, and you could see me sanding that down, and that's pretty much old bondo right there. So I'm gonna have to bondo that area. So I want to try to knock this dent out. This is something that I'm not going to be able to get with that PDR puller, because it's a little more solid of a metal here. So I want to try to get it out. I'm going to go inside the inside of the trunk over here, and I took off the tabs that hold this in place, and I'm just going to kind of give it a push and see if I can push it out, try to hammer it out through this side. So if you can take a look right here, it is pushing out. So look at this metal, it's moving. So I can hammer it out through here to straighten it out. Okay, so we were able to pop that out quite a bit. Now we just gotta bondo it, make sure that it's lined up with everything, and should be good to go. So I continued to tap this area with the hammer, making sure that everything was flat, and I went ahead and sanded it down so it can be ready for bondo, guys. And now I wanted to go ahead and work on this door. Now this door was poking out, looks like it's been bent, it's been through so much. So I hammered out the area that was folded and got it as straight as possible using pliers and a screwdriver. Then I attempted to bend it with my hand, and then I do the unthinkable, guys. Watch what I do. Okay, so that was weird, me putting my leg on there and pulling it, but it worked, guys. The door is officially in. As you can see, it's lined up. It's no longer popping out. This part I like bent back in place. The whole door was bent there. Now to get this chrome trim is kind of hard to find. I looked on eBay, brand new, it's like $100, and then used probably like 75 bucks or something like that. I don't know what it is with this little trim. Called a couple junkyards. They don't have it. They usually sell them with the door, they said. So this little crinkle on here is gonna have to do. I'm not gonna spend $100 on this little chrome piece of metal right here. I'm gonna try to bend it out a little bit more and get it a little bit more straight. But the door itself, it's not popping out anymore. It's just this ugly piece of trim. So now it's time to get the car ready. I started to take off that ugly bumper, remove those headlights, because we had to get that bumper fixed. Now that thing was all cracked up, those lights all fogged out, but we're gonna get these things cleared and get that bumper fixed. Next thing I wanted to do was bondo the areas so that we can have a nice flat surface that we can paint on. So I mixed up some bondo and got to that hood and got to that corner that I hammered out, and also the bumper and all these little dents that were on the side of this particular door. I'm not sure what happened here, but there were a lot of tiny little dents. Okay, so we're gonna repair this bumper. It's pretty cracked up all around. I mean, this whole area over here is all cracked up, even right over here. So the way we're gonna repair it is we're gonna use a plastic welder. And the way this works is you take some of these metal tabs right here and you put them into the plastic welder like this, and you just press this button and you hold it. And what that does is it turns like red hot, like a cherry. And then that allows you to stick the bumper together. I'll give you an example right here. You can see it burns right in there. You push and you can see we have one of the metal tablets melted in the bumper and holding it together. So the object here is to take these metal tabs and put this bumper together as strong as possible. Then we're gonna bondo it and make this thing look as new as possible. So we have the overall structure of the bumper in place. It's pretty solid with this metal wiring in between it. The next thing we have to do is pretty much cut down all of these, and then we're gonna apply fiberglass bondo because it's a lot stronger. I went ahead and did this line over here because it was cracked. And then I also did this section right here where that little tab was sticking out. I don't know if you guys remember from the beginning of the video. And this side is pretty solid as well. So using my angle grinder, I got down all of those little metal tabs. Now you want to get that down before we apply the fiberglass because we don't want those poking out. I mixed up some fiberglass, put it on there, and just got that thing nice and solid. Fiberglass is going to make it way more solid than regular bondo. It's really going to give you that structure. Now I went ahead and sanded down that fiberglass with the 80 grit because it's pretty strong and pretty thick. So before we apply that other bondo on there, the regular bondo, we want to get this down as flat as possible. So I went ahead and sanded it down, and this is what we have. You can see that the bumper is nice and structured together. It's not going to be perfect because it's not a new bumper, but we got it to where we wanted it to be. After that, I waited overnight and I mixed up some bondo and got it going. Put it on there. I made sure everything was smooth so that we can sand it down and make sure that it's nice. Next day here, we're gonna do all of our sanding, make sure that everything is flat, ready to go, so we can apply some primer on there. We wanna get this thing primed up, taped up, so we can paint it. We gotta get this car out of here as soon as possible. So far, I'm loving the results. Getting the car nice and flat. Then I went ahead and started taping out the car the next day, making sure that it's prepped and ready to go, cleaning all of the areas. This way we can apply our primer on the car. Same thing on the bumper. We're applying that primer to the areas so that we can apply the paint. If you don't put primer on there, the paint is not going to stick correct on top of the old bondo. So you want to make sure that you prime it, all the areas that need to be primed. A lot of little spots on top of the roof we wanted to prime out that we sanded down. So everything is ready and good to go. The next thing we had to do here was wet sand that area. Wet sand all the primer areas so they can be ready for paint. We're using a 600 grit so that that paint could be nice and even and stick to the car and have just a smooth look. We want to sand out all of those scratches that we left behind. So we had to tape off the rest of the car because the whole car is going to get cleared. So I used some of this plastic wrap to cover up the windows and just cover up the front windshield, the back windshield. Pretty simple. I left the mirrors alone, if you guys noticed, and we got our wheel covers here. This way, you know, no paint can get on the wheels. Now, next thing I wanted to do here was get those ugly moldings under the car. They were pretty faded out, so I used a regular black spray can, and I'm gonna clear coat those into it. You can see I made those moldings. Instead of them looking faded, I wanted to do this first before we painted the car. I didn't want to do it after and get any paint on there. So next thing here, I pretty much tested my paint gun out. I put some paint thinner in there, and I usually test it with the paint thinner. Now we're gonna mix our paint. This particular paint mixes 1-to-1. It's an Omni-based paint. We added our reducer and then we mixed it. Now the first coat is going to be a tack coat, guys. Don't try to cover your primer with that first coat. It's called a tack coat because we're making it so that it just sticks. So the car looks weird right now. It doesn't look like anything special at all. It looks like, you know, it doesn't look right. So we're just applying that tack coat so that we can lay that base coat down on our second coat, nice and heavy. Okay, for our second coat, you can see I'm laying it down nice and heavy, just in the areas. Remember, the whole car doesn't need paint. So right now you see some wet areas and you see some dry areas. The only areas that we're really painting is the primered areas. So we didn't need a lot of paint. We're only painting over the primered areas so that we can, you know, clear coat everything else, and then everything will eventually match up, guys. So here comes our clear coat, doing a test pattern right on my wheel, and then we're gonna lay that clear coat down nice and smooth. Our first one is gonna be, I wanna say, a heavy to light coat. We don't have to go too crazy. Now you wanna follow a 75% pattern. That means that I'm putting 75% down and then I'm going 75% right under that, keeping the pattern close, guys, and moving in a, I wanna say, like a motion, kind of like a robot. I'm not moving my arm too much. I'm just keeping my arm straight and moving my body. And you can see that this thing is coming out really nice and shiny. Compared to the way it was before, it's crazy. It's like night and day, guys. Looks like a whole different car. Look at that shine. Look how beautiful it looks just over some clear coat, guys, which is crazy. Hitting up this bumper, making sure that everything is nice and clear and looking good on the bumper as well. I did hit that roof, made it look good as well. Like I said, the bumper is not perfect. Now for our headlights, I did hit those with a clear coat. If you guys don't know, this is the proper way to redo your headlights. Hit them with a clear coat. I hit those with a clear coat, sanding them down with a 600, 1500, and a 2000, and clear coated them, guys. That's how you really do headlights. All that buffing and sanding is not gonna work. Now look at this car. It looks beautiful. It looks like a totally different car, guys. I'm amazed the way this came out compared to the way it was. For 700 bucks, guys, you cannot go wrong. This car looks beautiful. Our headlights came out nice. They're no longer foggy. Our bumper looks good, not perfect. It still looks a little, I didn't like bondo it too much, you know, and go crazy with it. Now we're going ahead and removing all of the paper. Don't wait too long for this, guys, because sometimes the tape can peel off the paint. If it touches any of the paint, it will peel the paint off the car. You don't want that. So now it's time to assemble the car, putting it back together. Let me tell you guys, this part is super satisfying. This is the part that really makes everything worth it. After you finish the car and you can sit back and peep your work, you know, everything that you've been through, all of the struggles that you put in, and just putting that Honda sign, man, this thing made me feel good. So I went ahead and applied the rare Honda emblem as well, and we also applied the Accord emblem as well. Put that back on the car. This is a LX. I didn't have the LX logo, but who cares? I didn't put that one on there. It's good to go. Now let's go over the numbers for this car. Now, you know, this car was pretty clean. We just had to vacuum it and clean all of the stains out of the car. But while we're doing that, let's go over the numbers for this car. Now, I paid $700 for the car. I used about $50 worth of base coat, and I used about $30 worth of clear coat. I had clear coat laying around the house, so I pretty much used about $30 out of my $100 can of clear coat. That's bringing us to a total of $780 invested in this car. Now, these cars sell for about $3,900 to $3,800. I'm going to sell it for $3,800, bringing us to a grand total profit of $3,020, guys, for this car. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure that you like the video and check out the next one that's going to pop up on the screen. If you guys did enjoy, leave a comment. Let me know what you think below. And if you got a chance, check out my website, flippingcarsforfun.com. I will talk to you guys soon. Jay here from Flipping Cars for Fun.